Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Kevin here coming back at you with another video. Just picking up where we left off in the last video. We were working on the fuel system. We got to get this tank drained out. There's a lot of crap in there. I'm actually going to just put it in with that waste oil right there and get rid of it. What do you call it there? So we're going to remove the petcock and drain this thing out. It's pretty nasty in there. Not to the point of, you know, going crazy, but it is bad in there. Looks like a brand new petcock that was installed. Guys, I'm gonna go get something I can put do a fuel sample before we do this. I want to show you guys what the fuel looks like. Okay, so remember, guys, I want to say this: the chemicals I'm using, vinegar, vinegar will eat aluminum, and pretty quickly too. Also, if you use the muriatic acid, whatever you want to call it, that too will eat right clear through aluminum. So if you have an aluminum tank, or if you have a tank that is whatchamacallit there, has aluminum or any of that type of stuff in it, like the gas cap, it will eat it. Okay. That is the fuel that is in that tank. However, it is still gasoline. It is just really stale. Look at that, huh? So the tank, when you look inside the tank, unfortunately you can't see it right now, but has just a coat of rust. So that is really what I'm dealing with, and I can clean that out no problem. So there might be a few little specks of heavy rust, but nothing too dramatic. Just gonna make sure it's all out. Something. Oh, huh. Here's how you can tell they replaced the petcock, because that just came out of the tank. That's the filter screen for the petcock, and they put a brand new petcock on it. So, where the hell go? That was pretty cool. So, I don't know if you can see in there. Let me go see if I can get a light. Alright, let's take a look and see if we can see this thing. If you can see inside there, see right there the little rust? It is not a bad tank inside. Unfortunately, you can't see it really too well with the light, but it's just a coat of rust. The bottom actually looks pretty darn good. It's just up where the rust wasn't up there enough. So we're going to flip this upside down. We're going to take my handy dandy tool that I made. And that plate bolts right there. Now I can fill this tank up with whatever I want to put in it without eating a petcock. So, alright, so what I'm going to be using is that. Muriatic acid. Okay, this is the same stuff that they use to clean out pools and stuff. Gunite pools. Stuff goes in clear. Now here's what I'm doing. I'm putting a little bit in. I'm going to hold it up. See, make sure I'm not leaking. Okay, I'm not leaking. Okay. Then I will continue pouring. You guys might notice how it's yellow coming out. The reason why it's yellow is because it's used. I use it, what do you call it there? I use it in other tanks as well. Okay? Looks like it might be leaking. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't even care at this point. We'll just let that like that. We're going to fill this thing up. Let it sit. And then we'll go from there. You do not want to get this on your hands. You don't want to get this in your eyes or anything. It is potent stuff. I'm going to let that sit in there for a little while. About 45 minutes or so. And then this tank will be all cleaned out. It works that good. Can you guys see the steam coming out of that? I don't know if you can see it or not. Well, anyway, you don't want to do the stuff inside. You don't want to inhale this stuff. It is extremely potent stuff. I can't stress it enough. It will literally clean a tank right back to bare metal in about 45 minutes. Okay, it is some of the strongest stuff you can get. You can get it at hardware stores, pool places, Walmart. This stuff can cause severe burns, eye irritation, and it is very, very bad. That chemical that I just showed you, acetone, what do you call it there, vinegar, you cannot use those to clean carburetors. It'll eat a carburetor right apart. It'll just dissolve it. Literally will dissolve it. Guys, pay attention to a couple of things. Pay attention to your environment and wildlife animals, streams and stuff like that, and definitely take care of the stuff properly. This stuff is extremely toxic. As you can see, I use a gas can and I keep it. I don't get rid of it. I keep it. I reuse it. I recycle it, and you can use it over and over and over again. So just be careful. I poured it very carefully. Typically I have gloves on, and you always want to wear eyeglasses, because I don't care how good you are, it could splash up. So make sure you protect yourself whenever you're doing stuff like that with chemicals. That's the one part of this channel that I stress, and I can't stress enough, the safety, your environment, wildlife, and all that type of stuff, because I work on a lot of the stuff outside, because I know a lot of you guys at home are working on it outside. So I just wanted to put that out there for you guys. Anyway, so where are we at, guys? Where are we at with this thing? So we got, wow, we are just cranking it out, huh? Alright, so we basically just have the, I don't know, I think I can get away with keeping that front fender. What do you guys think? You guys like that front fender? No? I see a lot of black stuff on it. We'll switch that fender out real quick, get that done. Alright, so this thing's got some damage up on it, some really black stuff that I don't think is going to come out too well with that right there. So I got this. This is the fender from my old 92 KE. I don't know, this one's kind of beat up too, but not as bad, I think. No, we'll keep the one that's on it, original. It was missing a screw, but I have the screw. So we'll keep the original one that came on the bike. I think I got a screw here that will fit it. Okay, beautiful. Thing of beauty right there, guys. I like it when they come together nicely like that. Alright, so just kind of chugging away, guys. Chugging away. So we have a lot of cool stuff on this bike. Very excited about it, you know. Alright, what else can we do? Well, we can work on finishing off the back fender there. So why don't we go tackle that while the pieces work in its magic. Okay, so we'll put you right over here. Get that seat opened up and get that piece out. Alright, let's see if we can get these out. Okay, got one out. What I like to do is put the bolts back in the way they came so we don't lose them. That's a big help when you do that. Especially if you got bolts and stuff that are, like this one's missing a couple. Right. Take that last bolt off if I get to it. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Got that, that. Nice. So now we have the whole back part ripped off. And that's ready for its new pieces, parts and pieces. Which I gotta get out of storage. But not a super big deal. We have all those. I just found my other exhaust tip. Got a ton of those things. You get so many of them when you're doing bikes. You gotta put them all into inventory pretty soon. So we have to remove the two locks, because this one right here was jerry rigged, so it was you know, so the seat would just open up. We're gonna replace the locks, the wiring, and all that stuff. So there's going to be a lot going on this bike in the next few weeks. I want to hear this thing run. So I think by next weekend we should do enough. We should have enough to do this. They've got missing screws on that thing on the cover. I'm looking at it. I'll show you. If you look on the bottom left of the engine and the bottom in the middle, right here, they got wrong screws in there. So we're going to end up pulling, before we fire this bike up, we're going to end up pulling this clutch cover off. We're going to replace the screws that are missing with the proper screws, fix the Kickstarter, and then go from there. I think we should be all right after that. So Kickstarter and pull that cover off, reset everything, and then we'll replace that gasket. We're gonna get rid of the silicone, put a gasket into it. We've got some screws missing. We got a pin missing, not pin, but they put a bolt through it. We're gonna put the pivot pin in that. Wiring harness, tail end, you know, the tail, fix the tail, and then that's pretty much it, guys. I might want to pop the cylinder head off and take a peek in there and take a look and see the integrity of it, the cylinder. But from turning over, it feels like it's pretty good, but those can be deceiving. So clean the fuel system and do all that. So we got some, we got a lot of videos coming up on this bike, a lot. All right, so let's take a look here and see if we can see anything. It's just got water, the liquid in it. You can see it right to the bottom now. See how nice and clean that is? It's just got little dots. So that is coming along quite nicely. We're going to let that sit in there, like I said, for the remainder of the 45 minutes to an hour, depending upon how much it needs. And then we'll go from there. So guys, I'm going to end the video now. I'm really tired and really hungry, so I need to go get some food. So I'm going to take a break on that. Let's do a quick recap of where we're at and what we're planning on doing. So we are going to replace the air filter assembly. We are going to use the factory carburetor. We're just going to clean the factory carb because that is the carburetor that came on this bike, and it can have its carburetor back. We are going to rebuild this cluster using the parts from his cluster to get that to where it's factory, and then we're going to bolt it back up onto that factory mount. We're not going to use the rusted mount. Thanks, buddy. We replaced. Okay, so we replaced the oil tank because that one right there was all epoxied up. So we got that. We have we got to remove that cover, which we're going to do that before we start the engine and fix that problem. We're going to pop the head off this thing and take a look at see what the cylinder looks like, and then we're doing the fuel system now. I have the tail light, the back fender, the metal bracket, and we got to straighten up a little bit of the metal in the back there. Not too bad. I just put air in the tires so they hold. They are dry rotted a little bit. Those are going to need to be replaced. The locks, we got to put the kickstand on. It's missing some bolts. It's got the wrong bolts in the frame in some spots. So we're going to go ahead and just go from, like I said, headlight to tail light. We're going to do videos on replacing the, what do you call it? Everything that's wrong with this bike, we're going to replace. So anything that's wrong, we're going to fix it, make it right, and give this thing one heck of a steam clean. Touch up paint and replace that cover. Fix the broken chip off the old block. See what I did there? Let's see if we can remove that gasket without breaking it. I think that's a good gasket. That is a good gasket if I don't rip it. Okay, yeah, we got a good gasket, guys. And we got to find a grommet for the, so I've got the plug that goes into here. I have that in the house. I have the grommet that goes here for the oil line. So we got to replace the oil line, the fuel line. We got a fuel filter. We got a new petcock. It just needs to be cleaned. And yeah, we're cooking, guys. We're cooking with fire here. I got an air filter for it. So we're good there. And of course, we have to get the kickstand mounted, the lights, and we're going to do the wiring video going from front to back. And we're good there. Forks aren't leaking, which is good. We don't have to deal with that. I have to check the sprockets and all the wiring. It does have spark, so that's a check off our list, but we are going to do an inspection on it anyway. So just because it has spark doesn't mean it's going to last. So we want to go in and check it and make sure that that's all sound. Other than that, guys, we are good to go. We got the chain adjuster. They backed the nut all the way off on that bolt, which we have to find out why. We'll fix that all up later on. So we have a little bit of stuff to do. Nothing too dramatic. Nothing we can't handle. The handlebars, which are right there. We gotta do that. We gotta take the parts off that carburetor for this one, and then that can go back into stock. We gotta replace the clutch levers because they're missing the ball. It's bent. Handlebars are bent. Cool pad though, even though the pad's all broken down. We'll probably just take that right there, clear off. Yeah, that's a good pad. It's pretty neat. We'll keep that for another one, and throw away this pad right here because this pad is chewed. You can see how much damage is on it. The controls on that side right there are absolutely awesome, and it is completely missing the controls over here, which I happen to have. So we're going to take the controls that I have, put them on this bike, replace these handlebars, all that type of stuff. Guys, this thing's coming along nicely. Anyway, guys, I'm off for right now. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for sharing my channel. Talk to you guys later. Bye.